Hello. I'm Kale from Wayward Dice, the host. Or the host.
The host with the most.
Yes, the host with the most of the host. You don't get the most of the host. Because you have to know the host. Never mind. Okay, I'm Kale, and I'm here with Nathan. Nathan, do your thing. Do your thing.
All right. So I'll be playing my same character from the last few weeks, which is Liazar Petros. He's a kind of soldier and recruit. I'll let Zach kind of elaborate on what he's been recruited into. Kale, what is your character's name again?
He's
Hinza.
That's
Sorry,
right.
I got yelled at.
all right, and that's the character introductions, I suppose.
What kind of class are you playing, Hinza?
I'm a prophet. Or priest.
All right, so this is our sort of pseudo homebrew adventure through the setting of the Third Horizon in Coriolis, a tabletop game somewhat like D&D, but it uses a D6 system and sometimes a D66 system as opposed to a D20 system. Last time we left off, the group, which have been recently hired into the well-meaning ranks of the Haji and their enforcement organization known as the Hama, have been put on their first mission only 2 weeks after their first assignments as trainees. On this first mission, they explored an abandoned, sort of abandoned warehouse, discovering it to be actually a front for an illegal fighting ring that led to a much more interesting discovery as Liazar, I believe, was pushed in. Yeah, it was Liazar. Liazar was pushed into the fighting ring by a man with a tomb tattoo, the tattoo that said tomb across his forehead. T-U-M.
T-U-M, yeah, I
Yep.
remember.
Upon defeating him, because Liazar had so wonderfully smuggled his weapons in, and by that I mean Babouk, managed to convince the guard that they were perfectly fine as they were. Liazar defeated the man, brought the other people in the fighting ring to not attack him, and left, realizing that there was another man with a tomb tattoo very swiftly running away. That was when Hinza, when Hinza incapacitated this man with a tomb tattoo by throwing a rock. Gosh darn it. By throwing a rock with such force that it seemed almost divinely enchanted. And it happened to pierce through a man's enhanced cybernetic leg, very quickly making him bleed out.
Should we also point out that we know that Zach doesn't have a video feed?
Yes, that is also probably very important. I don't have access to a camera today, so I will just be a disembodied voice, as any good GM should be.
Yes, in your place, there's just a picture. It's very still, very peaceful. That's all I really have to say about that. Continue.
All right. So like I said, that's where we left off. The exact point we left off was Babouk and Satar had come together with Hinza and Liazar to inspect the body of the man that Hinza had just incapacitated. And in doing so, Satar connected a couple dots in his mind and said to the group, "I think we're on to something."
Are we on to something?
Satar looks at Hinza, giving him kind of a dumbfounded look and says, that is literally what I just said. Yes.
I'm saying, are we? Not do you think we are?
Yes, we are on to something right now.
So is there like a corpse at our feet, or what's kind of
Yes.
like the setting we're at, like right in our
So
immediate vicinity?
yeah, that would probably help. So this whole situation has happened down an alley in Market City, a slum city out of the ruins of the old Coriolis station in Market Plaza. This is down a dank alleyway by an abandoned warehouse. Well, no longer abandoned warehouse. It's very quiet. An artificial night has been passed over. The lights have been turned off effectively. The sun isn't visible outside. And it's very dim, kind of a musky air with the is the feeling of the situation. There's buildings close by. It's very like it's just a walking path more than anything. Not really enough space for much else. And you are the only 4 people and 1 corpse in the entire alley that you can see, at least.
And then just to recap, we had like a little mission to like infiltrate or something where the arena was.
Yes.
So have we pretty much failed our mission or succeeded? I think we were failing the mission.
The mission was to infiltrate the organization and see if anything was really going on afoot beyond what was expected, which was just the illegal fighting ring in general, and to
either combat.
Yeah, and to return with information regarding the structure itself. It's really up to you whether or not you failed it, because you did gather information and make yourself somewhat well known to the people inside, but ultimately you did achieve the goal you were set out to do.
And so I think Lazar is just gonna kind of like quickly rummage through the like the clothes. Is the dead person at her feet, do they have like a backpack or any sort of like thing like that?
No, they were just wearing the clothes on their back. Give me real quick just 2 dice roll, like 2 d6.
6 and a 3.
6 and a 3. All right, you'll have to give me a second while I roll on a large thing for a little bit of something. So you do find a very small object, and looking at it close, it seems to be a capsule containing a well-known drug here in Market City, the name of which escapes you at the moment. But you're certain that if you were to take it to somebody who knew well about these sort of things, that they'd be able to tell you.
To the apothecary.
To the apothecary.
To the apothecary. And then I say, hello, I'm the apothecary. And then I point out a talisman and I was like, no, I'm not. I make these, and then I drink whatever weird liquids inside my talisman.
I was going to say, we'll let him carry the drugs.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Carry them, do them, same thing, right?
Anyway,
carry them outside your body.
Anyway, so you've now inspected his body. Satar's bent over, kind of looking him over as well. And he kind of gets this sort of thoughtful look, and he goes, all right, I want the 2 of you to return to the station, and I'll come back in a few hours. We'll take care of something together.
What is the word taken care of?
You'll find out.
I know I will, but I would like to know.
Satar just looks at Babook and says, Can you just
These
shuffle
are not
them
the
along?
answers you're looking for.
I feel like we should totally start calling Babook Rocks for teeth.
No,
like
it's
Rockford. I'm gonna call him Rockford, since his teeth are not teeth.
All right.
Okay.
Babook laughs and clicks his teeth at your new nickname.
Nice. All right, I guess we'll go to the station. Nathan, what do you think you want to do?
I'd say we could maybe try and like follow up that lead or the clue.
If you could talk a little closer to your mic, it's kind of hard to hear you.
With the apothecary, like if we could like follow up the lead or whatever, or we could just go take it back to the station. I don't know. I think if we're done here, we should go back and then we can try and find some more information about the drug, or maybe just bring it back. Maybe they know back at the station they might recognize it without having to stop somewhere else.
I don't think it could hurt to go to the apothecary.
All right, let's do that.
Onward, Valiant. Valiance.
Valiant
Like,
Valiance.
I awkwardly fist bump Liazar.
Well,
right, so
I've got a glove on, so
So luckily, the two of you have been very well introduced and familiarized to the whole of Market City, kind of given directions on how to get literally anywhere you want to go. So you do actually know where this apothecary would be. You head out of the alleyway back onto sort of a main street area, kind of more urban for a slum. There's not as many people out because it is late at Space Night. However, it still has a more lively feel to it. You kind of you walk the opposite direction of the Hamas station, because to head to the apothecary you would have to I don't really know what direction it is because it's base.
what kind of like distance and time? Are we taking like 5 minutes or like an hour?
It only takes you about 1.5 minutes. It's actually rather
Oh, okay.
close by.
Yeah,
So
sure.
after you get out of the alleyway, which takes you about 15-30 seconds. You get there, you open the door. It's this large, somewhat newer looking building. It's one of the better places in general. And it's kind of a circular, well, more cylindrical shape to it.
So the people selling drugs have more money than the others.
As usual, yes.
Nice.
Typical.
Sounds like a great profession to get into. I nudge at Liazar. I'm like, hey, we could do stuff.
As you push open the door to enter the building, a small chime rings through, and you see a man kind of like his head is lowered down on his hand. It's hard to do this without doing actions because you can't really see them. His head is lowered down on his hand. He seems to be sleeping on the job at the desk. But as the chime goes through, he like shakes himself awake, looking around and goes, welcome to Cartel's Cartel, the 24/7 apothecary. We don't sleep here. And he like hits the table twice.
Yazar like looks over at Hinza like,
Is
"Hey,
he super
you're
hyper?
up."
Is he like high right now? I guess is my question.
No, he's just tired.
Is he? So he's slurring his words. He's not like talking really fast.
He's talking fast, but that's because he just woke up.
I mean, whenever I wake up. Okay. I'm gonna say, hello. You give me something, I give you something. I hold out a talisman. It's basically just like a rat tail, like hooked around wrapped around a stick, with some like thorns sticking off the stick.
All right. He kind of like blinks, rubs his eyes for like a few times, and just says, I mean, that is how transactions go, but that doesn't look quite like money. Do you have any?
It is worth much more than money.
What exactly is this junk?
I take a big deep breath. Like an obsessively large breath. Not obsessively, but an obscenely large breath. It's like loud, like.
All right.
All right. Let me tell you how this could be on. So I have a stun gun. So what's that? Do I have a stun gun? I think I actually have a stun gun. Don't I?
I believe you. Yeah, I believe you had a stun gun.
Is it on your character sheet?
Fair point. Is it on your character sheet?
I have a stun gun. Well, my stun gun. That's not on my character sheet. Hey,
Are you making up your character sheet as we go?
Oh yes, I had the flaming sword.
I think I should put a 2 in this stat.
Computer
No,
weird.
not at all. No, Nathan, I'm not making my character sheet while I'm working or playing. I'm working. I do have a scarf though. I'm like, I have a stun gun right here, and I put my hand under my scarf and make it look like I'm about to pull one out. I'm like, and I will kill you. Now,
so
what can you offer me for this? Yes.
Hold on. Let me clarify this like out of character real quick. You walk into an apothecary. I'm assuming you guys are here to ask about information on this capsule, this drug capsule.
I had also assumed that.
I thought we were doing good cop, bad cop.
This is a very weird take on good cop, bad cop. It's more like guy who like detective and criminal.
That's pretty nice. All right. I said no. I'm just kidding. I don't actually. I mean, I won't actually hurt you. We do have to ask you some questions, though, sir.
He seems really taken aback. He went completely silent whenever you made the threat. He says, So what exactly is going on here?
Liazar?
You're the one doing all the talking right now. He's kind of like standing off to the side, like rolling his eyes.
Hang on a minute. I'm gonna call a group meeting. Liazar, what is it that we're here for?
Is the vial with the liquid empty, or is the liquid still in it?
I hold up the vial. Zach,
Yes.
is the vial with the liquid empty, or is there still liquid in it?
It's not a liquid. It's a capsule containing a more synthetic material.
Like a powder or crystal?
More of a kind of an herbal, like a powderized herb.
What is called the herb? Is there any herb in it?
Hey,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're asking me. Yes.
Yeah, yes, okay.
are you?
Does it have a
cartel?
color?
Oh,
What?
does it have a
Everybody,
Can you describe it to us, like what it looks
Yes,
like or anything?
okay,
Sorry, I
sorry.
thought it was Kale said liquid earlier, so I thought it was like a vial of liquid.
and Kale spoke like there was just a lot of confusion there. All right. So like you can pop open it, kind of like a Kinder egg. Not a Kinder egg, that just is chocolate. Kind of more like
A Kinder date?
a Kinder egg, but
Oh,
not
okay.
one of those. An Easter egg, one of those like plastic ones. It's kind of like that, just small. Like you could fit between two fingers. And it's kind of more ovular shaped, more like a pill, I guess. And you can pop it open and kind of get a look and a smell of the contents in there. Perfect sound effect, yes.
I sniff it. I actually snort just a little bit of the liquid, the vial, the stuff that's in the vial. I like.
It's herb.
I know. I
herb.
snort some herb.
Well, if you're gonna snort some of it, then give me a second. I don't know if there's a skill for this or not. Basically, just
Let's just make it up. Let's just go.
yeah.
Like toughness, like force,
No. So
manipulation.
manipulation of your brain. So you take a long sniff, and instead of doing the smart thing and just kind of like whiffing it in with your hand, you just entirely
Yeah,
take
straight out the
in-
vial.
straight out the vial, just a massive amount of the synthetic
Not
powder
a massive amount. Oh god. Okay. A massive amount. Yeah. okay.
going right up your nose. There's a lot of drug use for your character. Immediately, you begin to feel the effects, like a healing effect, very mild healing effect, and it's quickly followed directly by, I don't know if your character would precisely know this, but the exact effects of Opor, a synthetic rash type drug aspect. You begin to see visions. Very interesting visions.
This is. I'll be like, whoa. This is definitely the stuff I took whenever I got my vision. And I sniff up more of it.
Should I get a plot twist card and see what the vision's about?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I know, because the thing is this could honestly just be the origin story of my character.
Drugs.
Drugs could have just made me turn into a priest to tell about a prophecy that never is going to happen. Except maybe I am
You're-
right. I'm like an
You're an
Indian.
odd fellow, Kale. I'm enjoying this.
Good.
All right.
Hey Nathan. So we're thinking that maybe the origin story of my character is definitely just this.
His thought is
I took
drug
drugs, had a giant like oh my gosh moment, and it might actually be true, but it definitely came from drugs.
You're having a warm fuzzy.
a warm fuzzy. So as you sniff in some of this this opor and medical powder, it's a very short vision because it's only it's relatively a small amount for opor, but it's still a large amount containing or compared to what's actually in the container. And for a split moment, you're given this tingly feeling as though you're with family, loving family, a family that you've never known because you come from the Order of the Pariah, but you can feel a strong togetherness in the universe. And very soon after, you are returned to the world before you.
Is your name Cartel? Hey Cartel is your name Cartel? Cartel,
Yes.
is your name Cartel? Hey Cartel, can I please get some more?
So immediately
Cartel, I
after
want some more, please.
immediately after coming back into the world of the living, you break this group meeting and ask the apothecary for more of this drug. He just takes a step back and looks to Liazar and goes, "Look, I don't know what your friend is doing. He came in here, threatened me with I think might have been a gun.
Cartel, I'll give you anything you want, please.
He just snorted a bunch of something, and now he just wants drugs. Can you please put a handle on him?"
Has there been a rash of this stuff? We're investigating, and then I'll mention the place we came from. That's where we found the substance. And does he know what it is, or if there's been any problems with that?
He's after you give him sort of the information, the background information, that sort of thing. He puts his hand out and says, "I can tell you some information. I just need to inspect the contents, what's left of them."
I'm gonna attempt to just take it from Hinza and pass it over.
Oh, hang on, Zach. Did you? Is it actually a rash? Like this is out of the game. Is this actually a rash?
It's a synthetic version of it, yes.
Okay. Do you? Yes. So I just now read I'm just curious what the rash thing said in the book. If you want, I can tell you what it says.
No, I have it right here.
Oh, of course you do. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Okay, continue.
All right. Anyway, so Liazar is trying to take the capsule from you. Hinza.
I close it and I say, "Please stop. Please stop. I need to get some more of this."
Right,
Yes, pass it over so he can see what it is.
I just kind of dead arm across Liazar to hand it over to him. I'm just like.
Right.
So you're handing it to Liazar or the?
No.
I step back.
Cartel.
Okay. Mr. Cartel, who's just an employee here, takes the small capsule, looks at it.
It's called Cartel's Cartel, but he's just an employee.
He's an employee. Mr. Cartel is elsewhere, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyway, he pops it open and holds it like a safe distance back, inspecting it with some very suspicious eyes. Using his hand, he takes a small whiff of the aroma and nods. He says, "Well, I don't know the exact make of this, but it is a sort of unique thing. I've never seen a combination like this." He closes it and hands it back.
Thank you.
This is a hybrid of a weaker version of an M dose and some sort of opor synthetic material. It's been ground up into small fine powder. I wouldn't recommend snorting more of it for a number of reasons. It's more meant to be burnt by the looks of it.
I slowly put it in my pocket.
Right, you don't know anything else about it or anyone who's dealing in this sort of stuff nearby?
He pauses for a moment and thinks. He goes, "So who exactly are you two? Why must I trust you?"
I'm going to show my deputy badge.
I point at his deputy badge.
Your deputy badge, the Hama. Yeah, okay. His eyes widen for a second. He goes, "Oh, you're with the your Hamia, I see. All right. Well, there's a man. Not many know of him. He came here in one of the prison ships. Well, one of the escaped prison ships. His name is Tomb. He's an interesting fellow. He's been growing a following recently of people who take his substances and listen to his words as gospel. I don't know where he is, but somewhere nearby the fountain, the center of Market City."
And the answer is like, wait. Is he the host of the Tombcast?
Tomb cast?
Yeah, it plays on it'll be like the frequency number.
Yeah, on TombTube as well. He also owns TombTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
In the
plays
Spasm?
on
In Spasm?
65.6 FM, the Tomb Tube.
No, 69.6. 69.69.
69.69 FM Tomb Tube. The greatest radio show of all
You're
time.
Right. It's definitely FM. It's not AM.
Yep. Great. Millennial humor, everybody. He thinks for a moment and goes, "Well, I would assume so. Not many other people are named Tomb, as far as I'm aware. And it's a very religious group. It's in the lower FM numbers. So, possibly, yes."
Now, didn't we fight some people with the word tomb written on their head? Zach.
That was the connection I'm trying to make here.
How far away is the place that we left to this place?
It took you about 2 minutes to get from there to here.
I say, Cartel, are you available to leave for a couple seconds?
He shakes his head and says, "My name's not Cartel." He points at his name tag, which is written
said
in.
Your name is Cartel.
No, he never said his name is Cartel. He said this is Cartel's cartel.
I thought I asked you if your name was Cartel, and you said yes.
You've been calling him the name of the shop.
Mm-hmm.
You were under the effect of the drug at the time.
Yeah, he just points at his name tag, which is written in Kuin's script, and it's I don't actually have a name for him. Give me like a quick 3 seconds.
Oh, I thought it was Buble.
It's Mott. Buble? Yes.
Mott's Buble.
Mott's Buble. So he points at his name tag, which is written in Kuin's script. It says Mott's Buble. And he just goes, I forget what you're saying. Oh, yes, minutes to take. So he goes, "No, my name's Mott's Buble, and I work here. I can't leave my shift. Not till lunch, at least. Well, dinner, breakfast, early morning. The night shift isn't fun."
I'll give you something. Actually, I have something to give you, and I give him one of my business cards.
Or one of the pamphlets.
Like you trying to convert him to your sect?
Yeah, I'll be. The world deserves heroes. Be one of them.
What is this? Some sort of Overwatch ad?
I don't know what that is.
So, you hand them your pamphlet. This one, not for an old folks' home, but rather for a nice entertainment show, a stand-up comedy show by a man named John Hubert. a very uncommon name here in the Third Horizon, but possibly made up, a stage name. You hand him the pamphlet, hoping to convert him to your religious organization. He looks at it in confusion, sets it down on the table, smiles and nods, and says, "Thanks, friend." Like, leans over to Liazar, puts his hand to his mouth, and kind of whispers, "What is this supposed to mean?"
You hear in your head, Liazar, it's the truth.
I don't know. Gail, I'm not really following what your character is doing, so.
Oh, it was more of a joke. I said that you hear in your head something.
No,
that
I know that. I mean, like why you're wanting him to
I'm
go
trying to
with
recruit
you.
him, and then I was going to show him the dead body.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Do you think that's a bad idea?
I thought we were just here to find out what we could about the substance and then go back and report. But if
Good idea.
we can stick with your line of like recruitment though, since that's kind of your character's thing. I think Liazar is just going to point to Hinza and say, "This is his baby."
Like,
I like it.
Just hand these pamphlets out to anyone you see and everyone you see, and you shall receive a reward whenever the comings come. And I hand him like 5 pamphlets, and then I say, "All right, now tell us more about this tomb, this substance."
Well, that's really about all I know. Like I said, it's a weaker form of an M dose. It uses opor by the smell of it. I would imagine. Well, you just took a small amount of it. What would you say exactly were the effects?
The effects? Oh, well, I had a good vision that I usually have whenever I take that kind of stuff.
Good vision.
Do I have your permission to just like have a rash on me? To already have stuff that I just kind of, whatever I really want to vision, I just kind of smoke some.
You gonna
Sure,
smoke it right now?
But since it was artificial.
No, he's talking like his history, I think.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about, can I have some?
Oh, right now.
Can I go and say that I have some on me? If not, then I'll just.
I think Liazar's gonna say, "No, not right now. Let's go. Let's just go back and report."
No, I'm saying that I'm asking Zach if it's okay if I have my own, like have like my own little stash of it already.
Oh.
That would be
That's
too
okay.
coincidental. We can't
Yeah.
like make up having things.
Okay.
I don't think.
So,
You have some now, though.
Hey, can I borrow your pipe?
I'm not a junkie. Also, it's time to go. And then Liazar leaves the shop and starts walking
Okay,
back
I
to the
follow
office.
Liazar.
Buble kind of like waves and says, "Please never come back." All right, so the two of you leave. Cartel is cartel, closing the door behind you, and you're now outside in that nice little street.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the training facility or wherever we got the debriefing room. That location.
Yeah. The sort of barracks.
The briefing room. Yeah, not
Yeah.
debriefing.
All right, so you head all the way up back towards the main entrance of Market City, back towards the harbor, to its right side, up a set of stairs, and there you are at the big main headquarters, which is kind of small compared to big main headquarters of... Long story short, you're there to the Hama organization's base of operations. The repurposed guard building and all that.
Can we find the quest giver? Was it a female? I can't remember her name.
Yes, the your officer, commanding officer, which I
didn't write it
my
down.
notes aren't with me.
Okay.
My
But we
notes
can go
are-
back to her and report on what we found. And then when we mention the rash and the apothecary, I'll gesture to Hinza to kind of like display it so they can see what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember her name. Your commanding officer, Arifa.
That
Yes,
sounds right.
I might show off the drug.
All right. So you enter Arifa's office, and she seems just as tired as the man working at Cartel's Cartel, but isn't actually asleep. You kind of give her some information about this whole thing, espousing all the exposition that you've learned. and give her the. You say you give her the container, the capsule.
Well, he gestures for Hinza to like show it, or I don't know what Hinza does though. Kale, you're muted.
Oh, I apologize. I handed it to her, but I definitely took just a little bit out of it.
Nice. You pocket in some of that.
Yeah. Like I take just a little bit and I like stuff it somewhere. I think I actually just hold it between my fingers and then I hand her. Like I kind of like
Nice.
pull it out of my pocket and grab some with my fingers.
She's like, wait. Okay, right in front of her.
Yeah.
You just start packing your bowl.
Definitely.
She gives you a really like
I pull
kind
a
of
little
confused
crucible
look.
and I'm like kind of like pushing it together. I like it a lot. Yes.
She raises an eyebrow, giving you a confused look, and then just shrugs it off, takes the capsule, and looks it over before popping it open and kind of giving it a sniff and goes, "All right, yeah, this is drugs." She closes it. No, we're going to confiscate. This is information. Very important.
I wanted to start the information.
We have much more dedicated, much more effective Hama in this sort of area. No offense, Hinza.
All right, thank you.
She pockets it real quick.
Is there like an old guy in the corner of the room that's like, drugs are bad, okay?
Yes, there's the man that you bumped along the way to your barracks, actually. Which was,
I'd rather not spend too much
couple
time
sessions
role
ago.
playing about fake drugs.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Excuse me?
I just don't want to elaborate on this like
Yeah, I know.
for much longer. It's
Yeah. So she pockets it and goes, "You two should return to your barracks room with the other trainees, initiates, and we will call you up when more has been discovered in this interesting situation."
Well, cool, thanks. Where do we go now?
She looks over her shoulder at the old guy in the corner, looks back at you and goes, "Your barracks with the other trainees and recruits to wait until we give you information about this."
Do you want to go back to
so I head off for some shut eye.
I leaned over to talk to you and then you just leave.
No, I think he says it out loud.
It's
Like
it's
he's like talking to himself. Like, let's get some shut eye. You like lean in, and I'm like, "Are you going to sleep? Or are you going to?"
it's
And he
it's-
looks down at the rash and you're pinched in your fingers. He's like, "Or are you going to seek visions?"
You realize that shut eye is like a 23rd century phrase, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe he's gonna lie down in bed and close his eyes, and so he might call it shut eye. I think he reinvents the idiom in the future, like 23,000 years later.
It's like retrofuturism.
Like for a while, it was just like high slap, and now it's back to high five.
And he says, "Give me liberty or give me death."
I say,
Just came up with it one day.
To what? Okay, I go lay in bed and go to sleep.
All right, the two of you head upstairs, go to sleep, and return to your grueling training schedule. Do you want a time skip or?
Yes, please.
Yes, all right.
No. We want to role play training for the next 3 hours.
If we could, I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
kind of like, if you need a break, I'd like to go grab a snack real fast.
Yeah, that's all right.
Dandy.
I will also acquire a break and snack.
I don't have friends.
That's very relatable.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna sit here and snack. Hello, friends. I'm just gonna like do this. Oh wait. There we go. There we go. All right. We'll be back. We're gonna do this though. Ba-bam. And yeah, we'll be back in probably a couple minutes. See you guys then.
and up floor is another word, of your upstairs area. Whenever Arifa bursts into the room and bursts into the gym and says, "All right, all initiates, I need you immediately." She sounds very concerned and very pressing in her motions.
All right. So we're training, so we're already kind of like garbed, and we can follow her like right away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. So Eliezer is gonna follow after her. Like, is she wanting us to assemble or follow her to another location?
To assemble at your expected location, which is a sort of lineup next to the barracks. She
Okay.
gives you that sort of like hand gesture that she normally does.
Right.
That is definitely set aside in the canon. So you and your fellow three of your fellow initiates, the three that you actually met earlier, Dink, Mata, and Kirith, all line up along in the hallway whenever she walks along this line and calls you all to attention. She says, "We've just gathered word of a large gathering down in the center of Market City. Around the fountain, somebody is espousing some sort of manifesto, and a large group, a mob, to put it simply, is being acquired. We need you to go down there and at least make sure nothing violent happens. If something does break out, you are authorized to use non-lethal force to put it down. All right?"
Okay. Non-lethal force, put it down, kill things.
I
right,
think
I'll-
Liazar's hands are resting on the hilts of both of his pistols. I don't know if we call them the hilts, but
Nice.
kind of like resting his hands on him. He's like, So, guess I'm gonna have to get a battery for my shock baton.
All right. The five of you all kind of nod and accept these orders. And she says, "All right, move out down to the fountain." I'm assuming the sort of marching order is going to be you two in front and then the three NPCs behind you to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, if I know the way, I'm happy to lead.
Yeah? All right. So we'd probably go, let's say, Liazar, Heinza, Mata, Kirith, Dink. All right. You two are now, you five, I guess, are now headed downstairs. Liazar, you are going to have to get your exo, which you have stored quite comfortably in the common area downstairs.
All right.
But you do have enough time to kind of prepare that, as everybody is now going about getting armed and prepared.
Is anybody else putting on exos or just me?
Mata
I
is
put on
also
mine.
putting on an exo.
I
you
put
don't-
on an exo.
You don't have an exo, Heinza.
Can I take
They're not-
Batal's exo?
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. He's already in it by the time you even think.
Be like,
So when I accidentally blast a hole in the bulkhead, it'll have been nice knowing you, Hinza.
I point at him and I say, "Dibs." No, I'm kidding. No.
And I like seal my helmet and start walking off.
Oh, so you say that? Oh crap. Okay.
I think he winked, but it might have winked. He might have winked while it was like putting the.
Like Kinza
The
like
helmet
looks at you
on.
like, "How dare you say such a thing?" And then like you just smile and wink, but I can't tell that it happens.
Right. So I think we gear up and kind of make. I'm not gonna sneak around. We're just gonna go straight to the fountain and try and like get there before it ends.
All right. So as all five of you finish collecting your weapons and kind of gearing up for this upcoming mission, you all collect at the front door and make your way in a marching order down to the fountain. I gotta actually look at the skills. That might help one of these days. You know?
Yeah, probably. That sounded really snarky, but I meant for it just to be funny.
Trust me, I understand. There's a list of skills, something I've been needing for years. All right.
Yeah, you're right. You do need a list of skills.
Nunchuck
have
skills?
You don't have any.
You got some nunchucks, the anime katana teleport behind you maneuvers.
Can I add that in the
All right.
character sheet? Oh, never mind.
So, Liazar, because you're going to be the one in front, as the group of you make it down towards the center of town, and now looking over the open area around the fountain, give me an observation check. And you too, Hinza.
No successes.
Oh, boy.
No success.
An observation check.
There might be some glare on like my visor.
Let me see here. Let me see what my observation is.
All right.
Nice.
For Liazar, because you got no successes, so to kind of just default into that.
0 successes.
Nice. Neither of you, you're both looking now out on this rather large field of people. You can't really discern where the center or the leader would be. You can just kind of tell that there's a lot of what seems to be upset or rather emotional people. You can see kind of towards the back that Kirith, however, kind of raises an eyebrow and points at one of the men, sort of what looks like to be on a raised platform, standing before shouting in front of everyone.
Oh. I say to Liazar, hey, that's my job. I should be shouting at people on a platform.
Why don't you go off to the side and start a confrontation with him and correct him in his errors?
Do you think it would make sense if I was smoking my pipe at the same time, Liazar?
I don't think you need it.
I assure you I need it, but...
Well, then do it before
Right
you go
now.
on the stage.
You're telling me I should do drugs before I go on the stage?
Sounds like a great idea.
I would never say that, but Liazar might say that.
I'm definitely, I pull out my Arash, and I light it up. It's basically just like a pipe. Like a pipe. Tobacco?
Yep.
Tobacco pipe?
Give you that extra bit of... you get +1 to all of your Britishness rolls for the next 3 minutes.
Britishness?
Yes, it's
Hello
very
there.
special skill.
Hello there. It's a very special skill.
Now, pipes aren't exclusive to the British. However, they sure do make you look it.
I also have an eyeglass. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Now,
I'm kidding. Okay, yeah.
Britishness aside.
So I walk up to this guy.
Now, you,
Well, out there, partner.
That's not British.
No, I kid.
Or is that Western British?
I have some things to talk with you about.
so you can't really walk up to the guy because around him is quite a large mass of people that you'd have to be fighting your way through, and they look to be ready to fight back. You're actually above. This is kind of, you're on a raised bit where there's a staircase down into this basin where the fountain is, where the plaza normally would be. So you kind of have like a sort of bird's eye view of the whole situation. The man who is now speaking in front of everyone is wearing like long white robes. And as you kind of like get your bearings from Kirith pointing and making him very obvious, you kind of realize that he seems to have some sort of metallic aspect to his appearance.
Okay. Have I ever seen cybernetics before?
Yes, but like this seems to be something entirely different. While also being cybernetics, but just, never before seen type.
Okay, I keep on walking with my pipe in my mouth, and I kind of like try and like walk into the crowd.
Can you kind of give me a gist? Like, can we like make out like what he's talking about, like a topic?
Yeah, so as you kind of near, his voice becomes a lot clearer, and the people are starting to quiet down as apparently he stopped speaking for a moment, so they kind of started chatting amongst each other, and you can hear him very loudly shouting over the crowd, saying, "My people, it is time. They've held us down for all these years." What are these things? I don't know. Whatever years are called here in Coriolis.
It might be the year.
Yes, the space year. They've held us down for all these space years. Sure, they may have freed us from their prison, from our prisons, but they've only brought us to this new one, a worse one, where we're forced to live under the idea of freedom and only tasting the imagination that they refuse to give us. The crowd nods despite this sort of odd wording.
Very odd wording, mind you.
But they all, like, the entire crowd seems aggressively agreeing with it. Seems to be very well in.
Very mob.
So
mob mentality.
Yeah, they understand what he's saying, even if it makes no actual sense.
Right. So, Kale, this is the perfect mission for you.
Attention all people of the world, come visit the visited world of visits things go. Yes, I have many words to say to you. You know that the prophecy is coming, and the prophecy is the prophecy that prophesies the prophecy, things happening, and the prophecy after the prophecy is prophesized. I appreciate your welcome. I am think. Please do think.
All right,
Titanium.
I want you to give me a culture check real quick.
All right, let's do the culture check. 1 success.
1 success. So as you begin to speak, you're walking down the staircase into this large mob as you do, and the closer you get to the mob itself, as you're speaking, you actually get a couple of people nearby you to start looking in your general direction, sort of taken away from the charismatic wording of this odd fellow in white.
Okay.
But as you take your final step onto the level ground where the rest of the mob stands, you can kind of feel a very odd,
like a hostile vibe, like hostile or like weird.
Not coming from, not emanating from the mob. You feel this very weird, I would say.
So not like futuristic pitchforks and torches, but like.
So
more like they're under his spell as opposed to.
Yeah, more like that. You can kind of not only get that coming from the mob, but you're almost as though it's coming into your mind. You kind of get this sort of undescribable, which is why I'm trying to describe it, feeling. Kind of calms while at the same time pulls you forward to this idea that you didn't even know you had.
So not pulling me forward physically, but like mentally towards an idea?
Yes. This is Heinze because he's just down on the level with the platform.
All right.
I would assume like the party in quotations following behind.
I think actually if he's going up kind of like off the right, I think Laser would actually go around on the opposite direction.
Okay, so you're walking around like the what are those called? Like the parapets of this sort of.
Hang on a second, Zach. Oh, also one more success on what I said. I just realized I had +1 to everything. I just rolled it. I just tapped on it and got it.
Sure.
Sorry.
So can I also get +1 to everything?
Oh no, because drugs, Nathan, drugs.
Oh.
Drugs are good.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad, you're right. Drugs are bad. Oh boy.
We're not here to inspire drug abuse in those darn children's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So this is going very well. So you start to feel this sort of emotion washing over you, and then it just stops, and you can see the entire crowd turn in your direction.
Now I have a question, Zach, real quick. I
Yes.
know that. Am I affected by it as much since I'm doing drugs? Since I'm like taking a rash.
That might be one of the reasons why you weren't affected as much. Yes.
Okay, cool. Proceed.
All right. So, like I said, as you kind of feel this feeling leave your body, the entire crowd turns towards you. They're now looking exactly at you.
Okay.
You still have like a little bit of height on most of the people there. So you can actually see over their heads and see the other people turning towards you. And the man in white, with his hands raised to the sky, or the roof, I suppose, you're indoors to some degree. He kind of lowers his head till his gaze is set where he's making eye contact with you, if you're making eye contact with him.
Okay.
And he says, "And the Hama have arrived."
Prophecy.
Uh,
Well, yeah, they kind of are onto us, I think. Do we have communicators? We can talk to each other, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a communicator. I've got my helmet on.
Be like, hello, I think he's onto us right now. Hello, he's onto us, by the way. Shit.
So is he? So Caleb, you is he just still like talking like verbally sparring since he just like called us out? Are you gonna keep talking, or are we just gonna like try and like rush him and like knock him out?
You'd be like, I am the one that tells the truth, and the words lies in the eyeball.
You're making it very hard to respond to you.
Incomprehension keys work.
Yeah, I think that works.
Things I heard this guy say gibberish, so he wants to gibberish as well.
That makes sense. So, as you kind of respond with this gibberish, he looks to the crowd, looks to his left, looks to his right, says, "It's about time, then." Gotta think of something.
What
It's
if I
about
call us
time.
in too? Sorry.
A crowd,
It's about
I would
time.
assume.
No, I was talking to Nathan. I was trying to talk to Nathan, to my communicator. Or liaison.
So not gibberish.
No.
Okay.
No.
He says, "It's about time, then. So welcome, Hama, for you're about to see the fall of this and many cities, and the rise of a new icon."
So Liazar's gonna kind of just stay back and just see what happens next. I don't think he's actually gonna try and prevent anything for the moment.
Liaison. It's been a good
Go
go.
ahead.
It's been a good go, friend.
I always knew you were a quitter.
That's me laughing.
You
I am laughing.
So it's not the drugs laughing.
No, this actually takes the man in white.
They're not.
He kind of flinches, goes, "Why do you laugh, Hama? For you know the foolish failure about to become of you."
Because I realized the weakness in you.
Burn.
You see, what you don't know is we've been very aware of this happening. And we have at least 17 weapons sighted on you right now. from all directions.
This time, the man in white laughs himself. He says, even if you did, it wouldn't do anything.
Even if I did, we do. We have an entire army waiting for this because we knew this was going to happen. Why do you think I'd be here?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Liazar.
So there's like a watch beeping in the background. Can you guys hear
Oh, yeah. Let me find that.
that? Sorry, I was having trouble concentrating. As soon as he's back, I'll respond.
Well, it just went off, and I have absolutely no idea where it is, so
Okay.
we're fine.
All right, so he said, go ahead.
So he said, well, even if you did, it wouldn't do anything.
So Kale, you said my name again, so he's gonna say go ahead. What do you want to do?
I'm just saying, Liazar. How about you go and watch what happens and let them know what's going on? I think you should
from a distance.
You should leave and say what they're trying to do before we all die.
What are the other three recruits doing?
The other three are currently spreading out, much like you have, Liazar, along the upper sort of elevated ring around this fountain. Actually, Dink, however, is staying back at the top of the stairs where you all entered from, just watching fearfully.
Yeah,
He
I
is a
think
young boy.
I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
All right. So Hinza, again, you could feel something happen to your mind, but you're not really able to put your thoughts,
Together?
a name to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're able to put your thoughts together perfectly fine. In fact, if you wouldn't mind to tell me what those thoughts you put together are.
This guy isn't scared of death, and he has a master plan. So I'm
To which the man in white says,
that's what I'm thinking.
So at least you're observant.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that.
I know.
I didn't say that out loud.
He knows.
You're like, wait, what did he say?
He said, so at least you're observant. He puts his hands out.
Idiot. My British skills are great, thank you.
He puts his hands out towards the roof again, raising his head up, and says, you are here to bear witness to the beginning of the foremost, the next, and the only icon, the first amongst men.
Hang on. Am I aware that he's reading my mind?
Well, given the fact that he responded directly to your thoughts, yes,
Yeah,
probably.
Okay. But, yeah, I guess that almost didn't make any sense. I think I start thinking about the master plan of my prophecy and know what the truth is, which is, practically that everyone's going to die. But, I start thinking about my prophecy and be like, what do you think of this? And I just, yell at him. I don't even say anything. I just say, what do you think of this?
He...
In the middle of the crowd.
He just completely ignores you and says, and lowering his head, he says, now, my trees, my people, we rise.
I think it's because you're too scared.
Well, exactly at that moment, the large crowd around him begins to raise their arms, sort of in a almost religious manner. And the people directly next to you quickly lower them in a very attacking manner.
So they're attacking me?
Yes. And not a single one hits.
Oh, good. Good. Oh,
but you have about 6 pairs of fists flying right in front of you.
Of 6 pairs of what? Fists?
Yes.
Oh, I say, and with that I'm out, and I try to get out.
All right. Just very quickly, roll me some of that sweet, sweet dexterity.
So I'm not down in the crowd. I'm like on a ring, like kind of like elevated above them.
Yes, there are like staircases leading up to that, but they're down on a sort of plaza below you.
That's a 0 on dexterity.
All right. And none of them catch you either. Wow, that's some great rolls.
Still a
So,
0.
yeah. So you do manage to kind of like trip your way up the stairs, avoiding the fists, and pull yourself out of the situation.
Nice. I'm very proficient at what I do.
Sheer luck.
Probably.
So as these fists kind of fly, you'd hear Matah's voice over the communicator say, "I think it's time for that non-lethal force thing that Arifa was talking about."
Oh, yeah. Kill them without killing them.
I'm kind of ready to start shooting indiscriminately into the crowd.
I think I also am. Except that I think I have a gun, but I don't see any kind of weapons or anything on my thing. I thought I had a baton, but...
So what does Hinza do?
Well, he's getting punched at and he tried running away. So he's now back near you, I guess. He's trying
Was he able to? Is he able to join us up on the ring?
Oh yeah, am I able to do that, Zach?
Yeah, you'd be able to make your way up there, but it's going to take pretty much you running as fast as you can to get up there.
Okay, well I'm gonna run as fast as I can, and I'm gonna tell Liazar. I think his master plan is trying to punch everyone to death. It's absolutely terrifying. Because they all try to punch me.
That works out quite well. Mm-hmm. You hear Arifa this time over the communicators. Her voice says, "All right, can we get a sit rep? It sounds like something more violent occurring based on the communications between you five."
Nice. Do we have any bombs? Zach, this is a question for you. I'm not asking everyone else.
For Arifa? Oh. She goes, "No. Yes, but no. We're not.
Okay.
You're not allowed to use any bombs on civilian targets."
They're not civilians. They're very dangerous, high volatility creatures that are very erratic in nature.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, they swing their mashing fist things and they try to hurt peeps.
We'll send reinforcements immediately.
You better. Thanks. Hinza out. And I drop my communicator, and then I pick it back up because I realize that's not the way that works.
Good work, Hinza.
Thank you.
All right. So now the mass of people below the five of you are kind of
Did you
jumping.
say there's like 20 or 30 people, or like how many?
I'd say probably a little bit closer to 70. Like it's a rather sizable group, but it's not something completely untamable. The man in white, now standing kind of more towards the center, having hopped from his elevated platform, just sort of points in a general direction. That general direction being up the stairs. Hinza has just run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And quite quickly, the people in the group start following and charging up these stairs, almost in a animalistic state, using
like
all fours.
A hallway or a stairway or something that was kind of like a natural choke point when we going into this area, the fountain area.
There are stairs leading down into this lowered plaza.
So is that the choke point? What about like leaving this whole plaza area? Is there like a hallway or a road or?
Yes,
something?
there are like alleyways between slum buildings that they could possibly leak through, but for the most part could be used as a.
I mean, for us to use as like a choke point to like hold back.
Yeah, like I said, there's larger sort of streets and alleyways that can be used as a sort of choke point should there be a
Okay.
sort of blockade style situation.
Okay.
All right. So what do you do with these this large mob now charging up the set of stairs? The flight of stairs, I suppose.
I think Hinz is the closest. What are you doing?
I am running away and looking back and thinking about ugly people to upset the other guy. I think as hard as I can about the ugliest people I know.
That's I think it's the best idea.
Do I hear him react?
You don't hear him react, as mind reading is an active process. So you're just going like, Winston Churchill.
I'm just torturing myself as much as I can. Zach, that was terrible of you.
No offense to Winston Churchill, but
Yeah, sorry, Winston, but just don't make the cut, bro.
yeah. And Liazar, is he now firing indiscriminately to this charging?
No, he was
Yeah.
thinking about it. I think he's going to have his stun baton out, or shack baton out, and racing towards the top of the stairs where Hinze is.
All right. So because you were going kind of around that sort of elevated area, that's kind of like a elevated curve earlier, what you're now doing is recovering your steps to make that move towards where Hinze is. Dink, who's next to Hinze now, is starting to run back, not run back the way you came, but he's taking like a couple steps back, as he is a Metacurg and not really a fighter. And Mata, the older soldier within the Hama, who is also in an exosuit, is making the same motion, going towards that upper staircase to protect Hinze and hopefully the rest of the group. The rest of the town, city.
Okay.
So,
What?
I'm kind of confused. Like, so a mob of 70 people could conceivably kill us all. They're wanting us to deal with things peacefully. Are they wanting us to like capture the leader alive, or like?
the initial idea was to keep things from escalating, but the mission is to use non-lethal force, which means beat them to next to death without actually killing them if they attack you. And they are sending reinforcements, so it is very soon, considering it's like a 5-minute walk to get to where you are.
Great. That's just dandy.
Yeah. So the Hama, effectively, the best sort of way you can deal with this would be to get to where Hinze is before the rest of the mob does, and move backwards towards the sort of start of the alleyway and hold them off until reinforcements arrives.
Okay, that's kind of the idea I was thinking of.
Okay. Well, let's just run off and do that because I don't want to die. A death. Oh, wait, sorry. I should be up closer. I don't feel like dying today. Although I kind of am internally.
And that's probably very good for the continuation of your species. So so Hinze, Liazar, and Mata are now, I guess Dink as well, are now kind of collected at the top of that staircase. Your fifth member, Kirith, has made it all the way around to the other staircase and is preparing a accelerator rifle that has been modified to fire at a non-lethal velocity. So it's more of a space age beanbag gun. And she's preparing, she's preparing to fire into the back of the crowd. So now the four of you with your stun batons and Metacurg are making a sort of human wall between two larger buildings that open up into this area with the fountain and its overarching circular
About
area.
how is it like 10 feet wide, or how wide is it? Like
Uh,
or like
I'd say
5 feet, or
it's a little under 20 feet, so it's probably like between
oh, so it's pretty wide.
17 to 20 feet.
So does it take all 5 of us standing abreast to kind of like block the way?
Yeah, so it would take, well, there's only 4 of you there,
Mhm.
but you can kind of extend yourself to the point where you're able to cover the whole of it.
And
With
is it
baton
like
and
all
everything.
70 people are rushing us, or just like a smaller number of people out of the 70?
It is. Be right back.
Did he say he's gonna be right back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some more snacks real fast if he's gonna step away.
Oh. Okay, toodles. I shall do this thing. Bam. We're back. Again.
Yeah, had some issues technically.
Technically.
So, as I was saying, it takes probably the 4 of you, with a little bit of overextension, probably reaching about a total of a foot between each of you, with just a couple inches, to hold this sort of 17-foot wide entrance to an alleyway. And it's not the whole of the 70-person group that is charging up here, because it is a not really that wide of a staircase. It's really kind of crumbled down, and there's not really a way up other than through the staircase. So while it is the whole of the 70-person group, it's in a very small sample size per second, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe in a whole minute, probably like at most 10 or 15 people can make it up.
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. But
So who's the
considering
5th one that's not with the 4 of us?
the 5th one is Kirith. She's the one with the space age beanbag gun in the back.
Which basically is just a laser beanbag gun.
More of a railgun beanbag gun.
Oh my god. Gosh, sorry. That, okay, Zach,
Yeah.
you realize whenever things are pelted at supersonic speeds that they still kill people, right?
Yes, I did
Almost
describe.
no matter, like, you could supersonic speed launch a candy bar at someone and probably kill them because of organ damage.
I did describe the fact that this is specially modified so that it propels it at a non-lethal speed.
Like, just under, though? Like,
Basically, not just on. That does little room of.
guys, look at my railgun. Don't worry, it won't kill you. It's non-lethal. Just under, but it's still non-lethal.
It'll only severely maim.
Alright, sorry. Back on track then.
So yeah, now having set up this 4-person blockade with the 5th in the other side of the fountain circle area, you begin to meet the first onslaught of the group, and it's currently maybe 5 people that have made it up to meet you. So we'll just really quick group initiative.
For them or us?
For both. So
Oh, okay.
Nathan, roll me a dice. 6.
5.
5. All right. So you guys will be taking your turn first. They got a 4.
Nice.
So as they rush up to meet you and hopefully push through, they, are going to come into contact with the 4 of you. There's not really much else to be said about that. So who goes first and what do you do?
Are they in melee range of our wall?
Yes.
All right. Shock baton. The first guy. I got 2 6s.
2 6s. That's a total.
So it says for crit, it's a stun. So I think I inflict stun on the first one.
Yep. All right. So you smack a guy, sort of a large bearded guy, and you smack him like right across the face, and immediately he just like falls over convulsing because of the power of the stun. You might have put a little too much charge on the battery, but right after that first one, it'll go back to kind of normal.
I think when I struck it, I kind of held it onto him until he collapsed, and then I...
Did he have a weapon on him? Did that guy have a weapon?
Not that you can tell. You should have a stun baton with you, Hinza. That's normal.
I stun baton someone.
All right. Give me a roll for that.
Okay. So for whatever reason, it's not all saved in my thing. So Nathan, what is the bonus and what's the damage? That's all I really need to know.
It's a +2 bonus.
Okay, +2.
Do you know your melee and strength already?
Yes.
And the damage is stun.
Alright, he takes stun damage.
Wait.
1/6.
Sorry, the damage is 1, and if you inflict a crit, which is a second success, then it does stun. So technically, Zach, I did 1 damage plus the stun.
Okay, well,
okay.
Yes, so I did 1 damage, no stun.
All right. So in that case, you extend your baton and meet another man charging at you. And he pulls his hand back, and as he does, you manage to hit him right across the knuckles, like sending it flailing back in as he kind of writhes in pain, looking at you with a very angered look, with a very angered expression, I suppose. Then Mata attempts to strike at one of the men, failing, and Dink is left to strike at 2. He actually manages to hit one of them and the other in a nice fell swoop. The young boy kind of like runs the stun baton against two men's chests, dealing some minor damage to both of them. All right, it is now their turn. It's this. All right. So as these 4 now, actually, because you've stunned one of them, they all kind of like do their own respective pulling back for attacks, kicks, punches, that sort of thing. One tries to strike at Liazar, not Liazar, because that one was stunned. So one tries to strike at Hinza and misses. One hits Mata. He's not having a lucky day. And Dink manages to avoid both of them with his young, scrawny body.
Nice. Did he really dink that one, didn't he?
Yeah. So it's back to you guys' it's turn. And probably one more is getting very close. He'll be here by the next turn. But as you kind of see him running forward, you can also hear behind you a lot of boots hitting the ground as what you would assume is the Hama reinforcement marching along to meet you. You're muted, Nathan.
Sorry, I was eating chips. Can we look behind us and see if there is? Can we actually see them arriving or not yet?
You can definitely see like the very first like vanguard of them. Yes, and there's
are they Who are they?
Definitely Hama. Like they got the
Oh.
shawls and everything.
Okay, in that case, Liazar is going to charge forward to that guy who's going to be here next turn, and I'm just going to bring the fight to him and swing my shock baton.
All right, give me a roll.
No successes.
No
I'm going to
successes.
push my roll.
Okay, give me a dark point. Woohoo.
One success, so I inflict 1 damage, but I fail to stun him.
All right, so you push forward and you like whack him right across the knee, and it kind of like bends inward, not inward for a second, but like he bends his knee, almost tripping. And it kind of like throws him off. You can see they kind of have this really dazed look about them. Their eyes sort of not murky per se, but not really focused. All right, Heinze, you want to do something?
Yeah, I'm gonna whoopity whip 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 boop the guy who just not did 1 damage to.
All right, so you kind of push the guy that's out in front of you out of the way and charge yourself at the other guy who's now making his way into the group.
I am
there was-
satisfied.
All right, so make your roll.
I did. I am satisfied.
What is it?
3 6s.
3 6s.
All in a row,
right.
which is kind of scary, but... Church tomorrow. If you would like to see it, it's the 3 in the middle right there. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 5 4 6 6 6 5 1. So things happened. All right. So crit is just stun. There's no such thing as a crit. Okay, so I did a damage and 2 crit.
And stun damage deals stress damage instead of physical.
Oh, okay.
So I do like 2 more stress or something.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So as soon as you hit this guy, he actually just like falls straight to the ground. I'm not really convulsing, but you can see him kind of like he's like pantomiming a scream that he can't really get out of his vocal cords. You are a psychopath, Heinze.
Yeah, my eyes are definitely super bloodshot, and I like enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. It's just that.
All right. Mata, again, fails to hit anything in his exosuit with a baton. Sorry, my mic was muted. And Dink hits one of the 2 in front of him. And then you can hear a very silent pop, pop, pop as Kirith, from far behind the fountain, fires her rifle. Her first shot,
rifle or her beanbag?
Beanbag rifle. First shot misses, second shot misses. Beanbags aren't known for their accuracy.
So it's like the auto shotty of beanbag guns?
Yeah. And the third one manages to hit one of the people right in front of Dink, right in the back of his head.
I have a question. Can the beanbags
Yep.
actually be bags of just beans?
I mean, that's effectively what they are.
That's what I'm saying.
Not like baked beans, but like
No, yeah, not
plastic,
baked beans,
but
but hot, like dry beans.
I mean like plastic beans, but okay.
Oh, darn it. That's much less fun. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But I mean, like in reality, this would probably be more like a metallic feature
Yeah. So just
to make it actually work through an accelerator rifle.
bullets.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. It's now the mob's turn. So there's what now? There's the one in front of. Right. Okay. The one in front of Mata misses. One in front of Dink strikes Dink across the face. He kind of like stumbles backwards in pain. Another one from the staircase rushes up and, like in a frenzy, just tries to claw at Liazar and does absolutely nothing against your exosuit. Just kind of like putting himself right there in front of you. So now it's back to your guys' turn, and the marching has become a lot closer as the Hama reinforcements have basically made it to the front line now.
Oh, our reinforcements are here.
Yes,
say
welcome, friends.
Hey, welcome. Deal with them, please. And I kind of just like,
We kind of stand aside to let them part
yeah,
through.
I kind of just like let him go instead of trying to do anything myself here.
That's very fair. So you do have like one basically not like clawed himself into you, but is trying to claw himself into you, Liazar.
Oh, he's trying to claw me.
No, Liazar. You're Hinza.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, bro.
And it is your turn.
Talking to me or Kale?
I'm talking to you. So
Are there any people like in melee range since I had charged forward, or like have the Hamas guys like kind of passed me, or
you're sort of advanced in front of the line, so they're not with you yet. But there's the one who has charged in a frenzy at you, like one of the
this is the
people.
one that I hit for one that I didn't stun.
No, this is a different guy because Hinza stunned him.
Okay.
Hinza stunned that guy, but this
so
is a different
the
one.
I missed or that I failed to stun.
Yes.
I rolled no successes.
All right.
Now that the reinforcements here, I'm not going to push this roll. I think I'll just wait.
All right, that's fair. So you kind of like make an upward strike, but it just kind of goes wide. You try to just push him off of you. All right. And you do anything? Hinza is just gonna kind of like let the group kind of take over.
Hinza is not very good at fighting one-on-one, really.
All right. So now, let's have Dink make his attack because he's gonna do that. Yeah, he strikes. He hits the guy who just hit him, knocking him out, and Mata is gonna try and at least get something done. And also makes a successful attack, knocking the guy in front of him out. Kira fires another few shots. This one actually offering a critical onto one of the men climbing the
So is this a
staircase.
beanbag to the eye, permanent blindness?
Probably something like that. It's let's roll.
They're rubber bullets.
11.
They're non-lethal.
Oh yeah, they're non-lethal. So it's an 11.
Just like in France.
Where's the critical list? Just like in France. Didn't think about that till just now. Do you have the crit list with you?
Should just be in the book.
Yeah, it should. I have absolutely no idea where. It's probably where combat is. Yeah.
It's on page 96.
96. Okay, I completely went over that. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There we go. So it was just an 11. Got a wind knocked out. So the guy is stunned for a turn while also being hit by the beanbag for a lot of damage. So he's knocked out anyway. All right. She fires another shot. This one misses, going wide, going right over your heads, actually. You can hear it whiz by. And the final silent pop releases another dud shot. All right. This time, it's their final turn for not the final turn for the crowd, but a lot of them actually this time managed to pour through. Not the full mass, but like probably about 10 at once come up the staircase in kind of a long line, charging into the line, and a couple into Liazar and Hinza, but also being attacked by the Hama. But you can kind of see through this shuffling of bodies that A couple are breaking off down back in the towards the basin of the fountain and heading off towards a different direction. Not instead of going up that staircase, a different one.
Is it too much to say to try and go toward them? Is it too much to like push forward and go toward those people?
Well, seeing as there's probably there's probably maybe 40 whole people between you
So
and
it's
them.
like a mast.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do I have a way to light a fire? I mean, I do actually have a pipe already burning.
And a zippy.
I mean, is it reasonable to say that I have? I mean, I have a scarf. Can I catch my scarf on fire and throw it into the crowd?
Isn't that your magical hanky?
Well, is your scarf is like your symbol of
baby
authority.
hanky. I have my blessed scripture.
Hold on.
No, so you're gonna light your blessed scripture on fire and throw it.
No, I'm a genius. No, I'm a genius. No. I pull out, I take the batteries out of my baton, and I wrap, like, some cloth in it, and I catch it on fire and throw it into the crowd. So, like, I'm making, like, an electrical bomb.
I don't know what skill that was.
So you've effectively disarmed yourself.
No, I still have a baton. My baton just doesn't have a battery.
I'm going to let you give me either a science or technology check on that.
Probably technology.
Yeah.
Science is more like information.
Yeah, I mean, science is science. Technology is like the actual engineering. But
Yeah.
I'll let you give me a technology check then. And also, is that zippy of yours an S zippy?
I think it's a sippy. Like a sippy cup
Sippy.
without the cup.
All right, Zach. I rolled my dice. Oh, I get a
What did you
plus
get?
1. I get a plus 1.
Do I get to make up stats on my character sheet too?
At this rate.
I
want all mine to be plus 2s though, not plus 1s.
No, I get plus 1 because I'm literally on drugs right now. I failed. I did not get a 6.
I get plus 2
don't
for not being on drugs because it's worse to be on drugs.
Yeah, I don't think that's how a rash works.
You literally said that you have a plus 1 because I'm on drugs. You told me that earlier.
No, I said that to your Britishness rolls.
Oh, well, then I didn't get it anyway. I don't know why. Okay.
Cool.
I guess
Crikey.
I plus 1, and that's what I thought. Oh, crikey. That's
That
all
was
I
a
get.
-1 to British.
Oh, you're right. Oh, crikey.
Cause
Oh, crikey.
no, never mind. I'm just gonna stop joking.
Okay, whatever.
-1 to British, +1 to prisoner. You mean?
Okay, Zach. Okay, Zach. Okay. I did not get it.
Anyway, so you throw your amalgamation of battery and fire into the crowd, and it just kind of like fizzles out.
How does it fizzle out? There are tons of people in there. Lots of bodies, lots of masks, lots
I know.
of rags.
So the fire manages to get the battery into an acidic state, and it just kind of the metal starts to melt, and battery acid just kind of like pours onto the ground. Not much else happens.
I'm surprised to even know that all that happened whenever I just threw it into a crowd of 40 people. Cool.
Not even remotely close to a nuclear weapon, but
Oh no, I just wanted it just to blow up and kill a ton of people. Well,
right.
'cause,
So
I mean, how are we supposed to win against this mob?
out of the crowd, only 2 of the people of the mob managed to succeed on their attacks. Out of those who have made it. So
I love it.
Can we start throwing the reinforcements into the crowd?
yeah, that's exactly what I was planning on doing. So luckily, this only hit 1 Hinza for 1 HP because it's an unarmed attack.
Better you than me.
I'll take that.
Yep.
Hey.
And Dink again, who is seemingly just a punching bag for these poor things. All right. So now the Hama reinforcements start to pile into the crowd, nearly probably 30 or so like well-armed and armored Hama soldiers, actually like start to just kind of like go left and right, swinging into the different groups, taking down with them a bunch of these people, as their weapons are far more superior to just kind of like the stun batons. They actually have
Blades.
energy. Yeah, not blades.
Oh.
No, they got like
like decapitations and limbs flopping around.
we are a police force.
Yeah.
Well,
No lethal force, anybody. No lethal force. Choppity chippity boopity bop.
I was thinking more like energy whips and energy sticks, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Taking
energy
people
stick,
down.
So basically, just like like a protein bar. All right,
They're just hitting people with granola bars.
Let's just roll over what I just said there. Please continue.
or you could just like have the protein in an egg, and you just throw like future eggs.
Except
Eat
eggs
your
only have
way.
protein.
Anyway, so the Hama reinforcements has come to save the day, pulling you guys out of this sticky situation that you found yourselves in. And as the crowd continues to be taken down slowly but surely, a couple people in the back of this probably like 50, 40 or so people that have made it up the staircase, or that are at the staircase or trying to make it up the staircase, start to kind of seemingly come out of whatever daze the whole group was in and very quickly surrender, putting their hands behind their head and getting on their knees. But you can definitely tell that this isn't that the final product of this clash between the Hama reinforcements and the mob wasn't the entire product. It wasn't the entire sum of the mob. And most notably, there's no metallic man in white to be seen.
I was gonna say, where's Tomb? So he's got away?
Yes, he has. In the midst of the battle.
I knew that was gonna happen.
I think about nothing.
Welcome to Heem's mind, everybody. It's like this on a daily
it's
basis.
Like an open space of nothingness, and it's another time it's just like bunches of explosions of nothing that don't make any sense.
A lot more nothing than one might expect.
Yes.
All right.
Just kind of empty space, you know?
So, as this sort of is calming down, arrests are being made, people are being escorted or dealt with. Dink is using his metacurgy to kind of figure out where people are in terms of like the health spectrum. Mata looks across the way and realizes that, first off, none of you really heard Kirith's gun during the sort of latter part whenever the reinforcements got there. And you haven't heard
After
her
she was going full auto, and like
she was going,
when did that guy?
She was going full wham, yeah. She was going full hammy on that. And when about the time that the reinforcements got there, you realized you couldn't hear it anymore. It might have just been all the clashing of energy whips against skin and pseudo screaming, that sort of thing that's going on.
Can we see her now where she was?
You can definitely see her, but she appears to be unconscious, thrown to the side of where she was set up before.
I take the tea and I bring it over to her.
Now, hold on.
Oh wait, no, the first aid kit.
First aid kit.
I
There we
have
go.
M doses. Yes, sorry.
All right. Yeah, give me a +1 to your British check and a -3 to your consent check. So you're gonna fix her up with some M doses.
Consent check.
Was that mandatory check?
Balzac wasn't mandatory.
Metacurgy is one.
We are very seasoned travelers.
I think it's +1 for the M dose. All right. So I think I missed with the M dose. I
So
probably was not able to like break the cellophane or something.
And everything with the Imdos worked perfectly fine. Like you got it open, you got it in, you stabbed it into her, got it exactly where it needs to be, put it in.
Right where it needs to be. You stabbed it right in there. Perfect.
Yeah, you rubbed it
accuracy.
around a little.
Oh, whoa,
And,
Zach, are you talking about what I think you're talking about, or are you talking about something I hope you're talking about?
Yes, the medical doses, otherwise known as life insurance by the Legionnaires.
What?
So
It's the lore. Read the book. Yeah, I got 3 of them.
lore, yeah.
So do I.
Buy a
mine are blessed.
book. Anyway, so you get the Imdos in, but it doesn't have any effect because she isn't injured or otherwise like fatally wounded. The only real effect it has is that now she's probably feeling a little bit less pain in her unconscious state. She seems to be unconscious through less than physical.
Is she in an exoshell, or is she just kind of like wearing clothes?
She's wearing like padded clothing.
All right, I'm gonna lift her up and throw over my shoulder and march back to the alley that we were holding.
All right. Takes a good, like, maybe probably a minute each way. So you get back, and most of the situation with the Hama reinforcements and the mob remainders have calmed down. They're getting kind of like a head count, checking off everybody who was involved as official members of this illegal gathering, et cetera, and they ask you, Hinza, Mata, and Dink. So, how many people were here about when you got here?
71.
940.
They instinctively and have already learned to completely
ignore Hinza.
They go 71. All right. And was there anything odd about this group, or did this just happen out of some sort of political movement?
The man read my mind.
Again, they
had cybernetic enhancements.
And read my mind.
Tomb. They kind of like look around and goes,
It was a short story.
Yeah.
Short story.
He was yelling gibberish. I effectively dismantled it.
They
write some stuff down. They write some stuff down into these sci-fi clipboards.
Hang on.
They
S
clipboards.
clipboards. Yeah, S
S
clipboards.
boards.
Nathan Hinza looks at Liazar after you say your mind, and I go.
So they're writing on their S clipboards, S brand clipboards. And they go, so where is Tomb then?
Oh, he ran away like a little bit. He got unhappy with where he was in life.
He was on the stage, and now.
Now.
Right. The man
To the Batcave.
To the Batcave. The man kind of like offering this sort of debrief, interrogation, questioning situation. Kind of like shrugs, nods, and goes, "Well, we'll get him next time."
Wait, hang on.
Kale, do you have a recon probe or anything like that?
Sitar would have one.
No, but I do have writing paraphernalia.
I have some
Those
pistols. Maybe I could
I have a
shoot.
pen and
hit him.
paper. I don't have a recon probe, but I do have pen and paper.
These are all.
Okay, we're done here. Sorry, guys.
These are all very different items.
Back to basic training.
So the people, the man questioning you kind of like nods, goes, we'll get him next time. He goes, all right. You guys can return to your barracks. We'll take care of this from here. Initiates.
Oh.
All right.
It's a lot of paperwork, and you'll have to do that.
I'm
later
gonna
on.
take the unconscious woman and set her on the ground and walk back.
All right. You set down Kirith, and along with Mata and Dink, you and Hinza make your way back to the office. I don't know the theme song for the TV show, so.
I was gonna say, and then our TV show continues.
So you make it back to the the headquarters for the Hama, and Aretha's there waiting for you. She's at the door. She has her arms crossed, leaning back on the door, on the side of the door. Says, "So what happened? I heard there was a violent uprising."
Yeah, we held off 70 people, and the leader Tomb got away in the carnage.
I got punched and it hurt pretty bad.
If you
70.
had authorized lethal force, then we probably would have captured him. But...
Yes, you should only authorize lethal force from now on. Also, I need a weapon. My battery went missing. I don't know what happened. I showed the missing battery. Like, it just fell out in the fight, I guess.
You did this to you.
No. No. Me did this to me.
Fine, have it your way.
That's what I thought.
She shakes her head and says, "All right, Haynes, you've shown yourself to be a perfectly incompetent soldier. You can acquire another stun baton at any desired time."
All right,
Ooh,
now.
you can dual wield stun batons.
Can I have 3? I'll take 3.
We have a massive amount of stun batons. Just please take them.
Can we pull our XP and buy him a 3rd bionic arm?
Wait, yeah, can I pick up bionic arms?
No exo shell will ever fit you.
Now I'm just thinking, because they don't have...
Can I please have a bionic arm? I start tugging on this one.
Because I think technically for a bionic arm, you need to have a real arm there first. But you can get a biosculpt to get a 3rd arm.
All right, so all I have to do is chop off his right arm, and then he'll be good.
Can I actually get a biosculpt arm? Have an arm in the back of my head that
Not until you're level 87.
Out, like Doc Ock, but just at the back of my head. Eventually I'll have 4 hands that just kind of pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, you need to be not only level 87, but you also have to be Bruce Wayne in terms of riches.
No,
I like that idea. You have to be Klingon too.
No, hang on. No. I can have a
hang
hand.
on. Oh, I thought you said Klingon.
I can have a hand that sticks out my back so I can just fall backwards and relax, and I'll just stay sitting up.
It's better than a bidet.
Okay, Nathan. You just live your life, okay? Oh, guys, no. You know what's even better? I can just have the hand inside my stomach, so I can play pranks on people, make it look like the alien's coming out of my stomach. I'm like, ha! Gotcha. And then I have to get a new shirt because I just ripped a hole in this one. Be like, oh God, I don't know what's happening.
So,
gotcha.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
While you're discussing these different potential outcomes for your biosculpt situation, Arifa is sitting there anyway, I asked you what happened. You said you were holding back 70 people. I only heard that there were 58.
I mentioned that Tomb got away.
907.
Right.
But yes,
we weren't allowed to use lethal force, so we couldn't fight our way to him.
Oh.
Hinza was right there close by, and he ran away.
No,
it's his fault.
Well, it's a shame, Hinza. He'll go down in the report.
Okay.
What?
But the rest of us did really well. I'm angling for a promotion, so if you need a...
You're definitely on the list, Liazar. It's only been 2 weeks, but we got some faith in you.
I'll catch you tomorrow then.
Every way.
Cool. She just
No,
she gives you a little okay hand, a little circle with the thumb and finger and the 3 up.
Hey Hinza, I scuffed the boots on this exoshell. Do you mind to polish them?
Hinza says, I too am looking to climb up in the ranks. Yes. And I reach out to grab your boots.
Arifa's having a good time laughing at
Retha, I think I deserve a promotion. After all, I am the one who got his mind read.
Heady boot polisher, 2nd class.
Look at that.
She says,
I'll take it. I'll take the recommendation.
She says you will be promoted from doormat to boot scrub. Now, I don't really have anything for either of you two to do. So, as far as I'm aware, right now, for any of you four, really, to do. So, as far as it is right now, today is your day off, I suppose. We do need to find where Tomb is. So, I would love it if you kind of look around for him.
So you asked me to
He
work
can't
on my
be-
day off.
Well, you're always on your job as a Hama, but the important thing to note is that he couldn't have gotten far, or he could have, maybe, but that's very unlikely.
He couldn't
We've
have
been
gotten
keeping-
far. He might have gone on a spaceship, went to a completely different solar system. But
So is her name Aletha?
Arifa,
Aretha.
Aarifa.
Okay. So Aretha, why don't we have Hinza search for Tomb while you and I go off and doing the colony ship and repopulate the galaxy?
See, that's exactly. No, hold on. You're coming on a little strong here, Liazar.
He is
Well,
mighty powerful.
I
you're
have
probably
3
right.
wits.
He is mighty powerful. You are correct. Liazar is very strong. I know. Oh God, am I just turning into Drax? I feel like that's coming at me.
The game is devolving.
We're just, yeah. All right.
I
Back
feel
up.
like I'm playing Drax, but much less strong and apparently good.
Just taking away like every good feature about Drax, and now it's just Drax's
I'm playing
Plus
bad
hair.
humor.
Yeah, I'm playing
Drax
bad
plus hair.
Drax.
Drax if he was a religious freak. It's great. All right.
Oh man, it's
So-
12:30.
Yeah,
How are we doing on time, everybody?
I think we're doing pretty good. I got the idea for the Kickstarter of the plot. That's can still be done in 30 minutes.
Okay.
Not
yeah,
to
let's try and wrap
spoil
up by 1.
Yeah. She says, so yeah, anyway, we don't really know where he could have gone, but we have been keeping a very strict eye on the docks, the harbor, making sure nobody gets on a spaceship and leaves because, oh, wait. And she looks down at like the tablet in her hand, and you could see on it is a bunch of different video screens, and on it you could see a large, not a large group of people, maybe about 12 people entering one of the spaceships at the harbor. And she goes, well, everybody's down at the fountain. Who wants to go on a little adventure and stop Tomb from escaping?
All right. Where's the machine guns?
Where are my boots to scrub?
She says, well, come with me real quick. We got to make this very fast. She opens the door in a very, very mannerly hurry and rushes on in with Mata, Dink, and you two following quickly to the armory.
All right. And I guess I'm still in the exoshell.
Yes. So, running, not the this thing in the extra
30
shell.
bits in all.
Would Nathan's character be one of those guys that just wears sunglasses indoors? Just to look cool?
No, I only wear my sunglasses at night.
It's like wearing power armor just for the sake of having it.
Yeah. It's like being a fob. Be like, hey, I got power armor.
I like to look at my reflection in the mirror when I'm looking at my reflection.
All right. All right.
All right, so we get to the armory.
She says, all right, we're kind of stripped for like big weapons right now, especially because everybody's out taking care of some big things. But she just quickly grabs one thing and
The mini flamethrower, the
mini
one-handed one.
flamethrower.
Yeah.
The yep. All right. Yeah, they totally have one of those.
Can I take
Nice.
a Durasword?
That's not something they have access to.
A Dura knife?
However, sure, we'll give you a Dura knife. Actually, is Dura what I'm thinking of, or am I thinking of?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking
like
of Mercurium.
it's like a vibro blade is the Dura. The Mercurium is like the magical
Yeah.
disappearing thing.
Light
Yeah, no.
saber.
I've got a Dura
Dura-
knife at the moment.
Yeah, you can have a Dura sword, sure. Like I wave my hand, like yes, you can have one of those.
His melee weapon's bigger than mine.
Well,
I feel
something's
like it
got to be.
actually only makes sense. I feel like it actually
That's
only
fine.
makes sense in comparison to your character. Like you're.
All right.
Never mind. Never mind.
She very quickly grabs herself an accelerator rifle, Nestra Parox, because it's my favorite personal weapon.
Her own sword. Sorry, go ahead.
And
Are there any
Mata,
like stun grenades or anything like that? Like flashbang?
yeah,
or
there are a couple.
just
There's like
straight flat frag grenades.
yeah, there are a couple like 2 stun grenades
All right,
and
I'm just
1
gonna
frag grenade.
stick them on here and pass the frag grenade to Hinza.
All right.
Oh, hello
And
there.
Mata arms himself with an accelerator carbine and a throwing spear because we're really stripped for things. So now the large group is, I'm assuming, going to be rushing towards the docks, trying to,
Yep.
kind of beat their escape, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. As you guys make it onto the not open air harbor, because it is vacuum pressurized, just with space technology. Yeah. Sci-fi. It's quote unquote open air. We've already gone over this. It's the harbor open to space with a pseudo force field around it. You can see
it appears to be open, but there's kind of like something holding in the atmosphere, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can see one of the larger red ships. It's probably like a class 3. It's got just a couple weapons. It's the very kind of like baseline of what you need for a ship you can take out and explore with. And that is the exact one that Tomb's group has decided to take. Tomb is the last one boarding on, and there's a couple people at like the top of the staircase getting into the ship. But he is down on the floor of the harbor next to a more large opening with the side of the ship stepping onto what seems to be like a cargo hold that opens
ship?
on the side. In the ship, yes.
That it appears to be Tomb.
Yes. A man in long white robes with a sort of metallic look, bald
How far
head.
away is he from us?
I have never thought about how big this harbor is.
Like 10 feet?
I'd say probably closer to 20. Like it's not that great of a distance because you are like pretty close with the Hama HQ. But
run as fast as possible and try and jump into the cargo hold first.
All right. So you're going to give me a quick dexterity check.
1 success.
1 success. And he is going to do something very interesting. Let me come up with the actual name because it's right here somewhere. There it is. All right. It's 1, 2 successes. So as you start running forward towards him, he turns, lifts his hand in your direction, and you can feel this force suddenly be exuded upon you, and you're almost stopped exactly where you are. You're not able to actually really kind of make yourself do anything. You just kind of feel blank, as though your mind has just gone absent for a very split second.
Finally.
Finally, you're not thinking of me.
Freedom!
Nice. So as you kind of stop, Mata, not even kind of stop, as you stop, Mata raises his rifle, and the same happens to him. Hinza, the same. Each and every one of you, this wave of mind stoppage kind of like passes over you very quickly. And he just kind of shrugs, takes a step onto the cargo bay, and the door starts to close as the ship begins to take off and the staircase going into it fold in. You can see him starting to make his escape, and you finally have your ability to make one last attempt to at least fire at the ship, see what you can do.
I've got this. And I fire at the ship
With
a rocket launcher.
you don't have a rocket launcher.
Okay, with
A
Lieza's
Durasword.
rifle.
Your Durasword. Oh, good idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit. So let me go ahead and roll for my hit to see if I actually do.
Does he need to roll to hit the hull of a massive spaceship, or can he just like? Hit
Well,
it
for
with
damage
his
at
sword?
least, right?
I'd say he
Yes,
does
for
like full
damage.
damage.
I'd say you can roll to see if you, because it's starting to take off. If you manage to not really hit it, but do anything sort of like sizable to the ship.
I do, because I rolled for hit just to see.
All
I
right.
got 1-6, and I'm gonna use my judge to insta crit. Critical. And then I'm gonna roll my thing.
You break one of its running lights.
I got a 55 for my crit roll if we're gonna do that. So I think I like kill one of its lungs or something.
Nice. It's only got like 879 lungs left.
I see here. Hang on.
So-
Critical.
No, actually, so you actually managed to make a very, very quick run, passing Liazar in a mad sprint for the ship, and make a long jump. And as the cargo bay door is beginning to fully close and seal, thus locking any chance you have of harming Tomb inside, you just barely manage to get your blade between one of the servos and the thing behind it, like
Oh, wait.
hole.
Actually, 55 was a severed arm.
You take off a wing.
I'm kidding. Okay, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
you lodge your blade into one of the servos on the cargo bay door and pull it off, kind of like crowbar style. And as you land back down on the harbor surface, like falling onto your back, you can see as the ship starts to turn and make its way, turning on the engine to escape the station. You can see that the cargo door doesn't fully seal.
Are we in the
That's
cargo
our
hold?
key.
Are you what?
Are we in the cargo hold?
No, it managed to. He managed to get basically away fast enough because of his ability with the mind powers.
Can we get on back on the ship? Is it accessible to just jump on?
I think I can throw you after it in the momentum.
Yes!
You can
Yes!
squeeze through the gap and then
Yes, do it.
I throw him into the vacuum of space as hard as I can.
You pick up Hinza, and as you're picking him up, the
I changed my
engines
mind. Oh.
the engines for this ship turn on, and you are all just blasted back immediately from this very danger close launch.
Man, it
From the
really
ship.
feels like I feel like I'm on a railroad here. No, I'm kidding.
Only people in exoshells survive.
Roll a new party, except for Liazar.
Wait, so just me? I just roll a new character.
Ah, now I need to find a new petty boot polisher second class.
Nathan, I guarantee you that my next character will not be that much of a wuss. If the you know what, Hinza won't die. It's okay. Fingers crossed.
All right, so you don't die. Okay, so we
Surprisingly
get
enough.
blasted. Are there other ships we can pursue in here?
Yes, there are plenty of ships actually. So
nice.
as the ship makes its escape from the station, you are all, like I said, shot back from the exhaust and the power being shot back as force exists. You're all like picking yourself up, dusting each other off. I mean, Liazar and Mata aren't, they're in actual shells, so just kind of like it's like a nice gentle breeze, a couple specks of dust, but you're all. I'm at a loss for words all of a sudden. Right. So you're all kind of like picking yourself up and getting each other back into sort of a right mental state for what just happened. Because, I mean, there was Tomb and you just lost him. And as this is happening, the actual leader of the Haji, the woman that Hinza saw back at the Algol prison during the riot outbreak, runs onto the harbor, and looks out towards the now leaving ship, the speck of light against the blackness of the Kuan system. She goes, well, that's going to ruin things very quickly.
How so?
She looks over to your group of now 6, 5, because what's her name isn't there.
Hinzidide?
No,
Oh.
because of Kirith isn't there, or Kirith isn't there.
Well, screw Kirith. I can handle too.
So she looks at your group of 5 and says, well, I'm going to have to demand that a colony ship be prepared under the guise of beginning our new colonial system. And you 5 need to find that man.
Arifa, come with us. We need you to repopulate the world.
That's not Arifa speaking.
Well, Aretha plus all present, all 6 of us.
Please.
Yes.
Yes, we need Arifa, please.
All right.
She must be attending.
Arifa comes to stand at attention, nodding. Goes, but ma'am, there's not a single ship here prepared with weapons except for the one that they just took. And even worse off, the only colony ship we have doesn't have any. The sensors are basically broken. She just shakes her head and goes, we need to get this done now. The Silverlight crew have left and Tomb with them. Which, if you remember correctly, is the group who organized the fighting ring.
So can form like a press gang and like find a bunch of slaves or colonists to like put on a ship?
That's effectively what's going to happen.
Sweet.
So yeah, she goes. So now the leader standing there because the ship just took off, and that's an unqualified takeoff. Kind of brought her out. She, demanding the colony ship to be made or to be prepared for takeoff, and the initiative to be jump started immediately, months ahead of when it was prepared to be ready.
So with no preparation, the future of humanity has begun.
Yep.
We are the future of humanity. We shall prevail. We shall prophesize what happens because we know that
Arifa puts a hand over Heinz's mouth and says, "You'll have to ignore him. Everyone in the Hama does."
He's speaking into the communicator. He's just announcing this to everyone in the area. Hello. My name is Hinza. Hinza Ishran. You shall follow what I say. Find the pamphlets. Find them. Please contact me.
She slaps the communicator out of your hand.
Out of my mouth. Yeah. I'm chewing on it. It's this is the communicator. This is the communicator. It's hello. Yeah. Hi. My name's Hinza. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah.
You will let your waifu treat you like that?
Wait, what was that? I didn't get that. It cut out.
You're
gonna let your waifu
wife?
treat you like that?
I think it is canon that she is your waifu.
Of course I am.
We haven't even boarded the colony ship yet.
Arifa, come with us.
Oh, I thought she was mine. You had the other one.
Come with us. I know. I say that. I'm don't worry, Liazar. I got you.
Arifa slaps you lightly again and goes, I was just commanded to prepare the colony ship. I'm coming with you.
Oh, goody. Great. And then I wink very blatantly at Liazar. Liazar. Hey, Liazar. Look at me.
Sorry, I'm looking to my waifu's eyes.
Hey, Liazar, look at me.
We're trying to populate the galaxy.
I'm aware. I'm saying I got you. She's coming with us.
Well, we're rushing things now. I don't like being rushed.
I'm not rushing you. You're
okay,
rushing
all right. Fair enough. Go ahead.
Arifa puts her hand out between the two of you and says, look, I get all 4 of you are very new to the entire Hama, but seeing as you are the ones here and involved in this entire case,
The
I'm gonna need
patriarchs of humanity.
you can say something like that. Nobody will believe you. I'm going to need the four of you to put together the people that we will be taking with us on the colony ship. They can't know about this whole tomb issue unless they're part of the Hama anyway. We'll be
Right.
taking your other initiative. What's her name? And she like thinks for a moment, looks at her hand, and goes, "Oh yeah, Kirith."
Do we need
Right.
more colonists?
Yes, we are taking a colony ship. It seats. She thinks for a moment, goes,
I have a plan.
"What's the plan?"
We can promote a remote getaway, and we'll call it something fire, but not just any fire, but like with like a Y, and like, yes, everyone will come. We'll have like all the celebrities promote it, and then we can get the colonists, and then he turned to Hinza.
Hinza.
Make the commercial.
Welcome all colonists.
To the
Fire
Fire 101
Festival.
Tat Festival
Remote getaway.
remote getaway.
Tickets are only 2,500 burr.
Tickets are only 25,000 burr.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, send it. All right,
All right,
put some like
send
martial
it.
music in the background, and
some
we have a
music.
winner.
We have a winner. We have a winner, everyone.
It's literally everybody.
Everyone, congratulations. You're qualified for this deal. $25,000 payment.
Arifa, you're the
eligible,
first
right.
winner. Come join us.
Arifa shakes her head and just sighs. She says,
You are waved to the feet.
"All right."
This is like it's like dodgeball, you know, like you're picking your team. You're like Rifa.
You're
Rifa
first
over
again.
here.
So, just so you guys know, the ship can sit 336 people. We have us five, Parisa, our leader here,
I just thought of something really funny.
And- yeah,
No. You can continue. I'll say it after.
your friend Kirith, Satar Babook, and of course, Parisa's sister, who's always there. So that makes for 10. What number was I at?
336.
336 minus, let's see, us five, then Parisa, our leader, who's right there. So that's 6.
330.
Sister, Satar, Babook, that's 7. 329 people. That's how
That's
many
like
we need.
That's like an S baker's dozen.
Wait. Like, hang on. So do we have 329 on our ship right now?
Empty
No, we
beds
No.
to fill.
We have 329 empty beds, yes.
Well,
Maybe there's a bunch of prisoners like filling up the prisons that we could just
we
like.
guys are. We could just have another outbreak, like we did.
Back to the
Of the-
prison.
Here's okay. Well, my funny thing has been nullified because for whatever reason I was thinking that we just had 330 people. I'm like, oh, so we're just taking a colonist ship to capture a bad guy. That's like a cop getting in a van full of a family just to chase someone down. Whenever he
That
has
is
a cop
effectively-
car, he has a cop car
That's
he
a-
can get in, but it's that he's just not in there.
No, but the issue is we don't have the cop car to get in. So anyway, of the 329, 9 of
A
those
bus full of people.
seats have to be for other Hama members. And of the other 320 would have to be the colonists.
That makes sense.
Cool. Fancy.
Because we have 16 bedrooms dedicated to the Hama officers. They're very, very nice, spacious rooms. And then we have 320 coffins, as they're called. Very, very small. They actually come with their very own cryo chambers.
We could
they're very special.
double up rooms and free up more space for Hama people.
Does sound like a good idea.
The galaxy won't populate itself with humanity.
Or we could just double up space and get 640 people in the coffin.
You mean like in the cryo beds?
In the cryo pits.
Like
This sounds like a
we're
great idea.
Being frozen together.
It sounds like a great idea. We only have like 1,000 people here, but 640. Let's go.
All right. Cool. So
All
we
right.
start our plans for taking off next time.
Yes, we will.
And let's start making all those babies. All right, everyone,
She-
this has been Wayward Dice.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Aretha, I have to introduce the
I was
ship.
wanting to end on a really good note, but
Yeah, I still have to introduce the ship, so we can still do that. She gestures, literally like right next to you to your left is a massive Class 4 ship. It's like very circular up top, kind of like almost like a dome. She says, where's the ship? I have a thing for it. There we go. This is the Merkava, our colony ship. The end, Heinza.
and to
Go
thank
ahead.
you, everyone. This is Heinz speaking. This has been Heinz on Leazar's show of stuff
With sometimes Sitar and Babu.
with occasional Sitar Babook and Tomb. See us next time as we travel into space, kill some bad guys, and use non-lethal force that's actually lethal because it's slightly too dangerous.
Blades.
And like we cut scene to a picture of like an infant in like a S cradle, and then we fade to black.
This could be you. I'm the fire.
Okay, I totally. Okay. Now that we're out of the scene,
I really like the idea of being able to repopulate. Because Hinza can just have a bunch of followers that were just raised to be his followers. And bam.
You see, now you're just stealing Eli Adini, my mutant Year Zero character.
excuse me. No, Heinz's entire role has literally just been to do that.
Mhm.
That's his world.
I see how it is.
You
I see how.
me in a sassy way?
I
Excuse
make
me?
one Jesus-inspired prophet, and all of a sudden,
What? Zach, I mean, what?
It's the Spanish Inquisition.
You realize I haven't even played Mutant Year Zero with you, right? Not with you.
they have.
Nah, not with you. I played
Yeah,
with a couple.
We were. Yeah, it was me as Eli,
Zach.
Ethan as Zippo, and
Zach.
Dave as,
Facts and logic are not valid, okay?
we had you as I don't remember exactly what your character was
I
for the
said
life of me.
facts and logic
But we
are
had-
allowed, bro.
I don't remember who
Don't
played him,
not chill
but the
like that.
best character, like legitimately the best character, was Hug.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Hug was pretty awesome. Just a giant stupid bug that crushed and killed people.
Like, legitimately, I
Those-
just want to bring
those
him
were
back
good
to everything.
times.
Yeah, four-armed giant bug. Is that Tomb? Okay, never mind. Okay.
Was that Ben's character?
Yes. that
It was
his
Ben.
character.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was super fun.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Debrief. Nathan, thoughts?
I like the challenge of having like a crowd of 70 people. It was like we
Yeah, I
don't have
kind
lots
of-
of machine guns and explosives, so like, and also we have like this non-lethal challenge. So
It kind of
it
expedited
seemed
the
like a
process.
significant hurdle.
See, like the non-lethal challenge is like an achievement in a game. It's like, don't kill anyone throughout the game. Although it is advertised as a killing game. It's like, hang on a second. It's like, now do I really
So are we
wanna
gonna
go
start
from there?
awarding achievements?
Yes.
And we can like name them and stuff like the
The toad
non-lethal.
squasher. The
Yeah, I
toad
don't know.
squisher. Kill like 5 toads throughout the course of the game.
What about you, Kill? What is your highlight?
Oh. Well. I like doing drugs. It was fancy.
That's
Dead stare.
That's nice.
That's the dead, not really happy kind of happy-looking stare. Nathan?
I did not mean like I was only gonna have like the drug be relevant for like 3
One time,
seconds.
and now my character is just addicted. Thank you, Zach.
So
Yeah, like-
I thought there was like a thumbprint on your camera, Kale, but I think it's just haze or like vapor from
What?
your extracurricular vape cloud haze.
Oh, what? oh, yeah. Sorry. Is there actually a thumbprint on my camera?
No.
Oh, you were just trying to make it. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. My
I
thoughts about-
really. Never mind. Continue. Go ahead.
No, Zach. I've been dying to hear your voice.
I really enjoyed a lot of that
Sorry,
because
continue.
a lot more of it was improv than I expected. Like everything about cartel, I was not expecting. Like the drug, I just made up entirely on the spot because I was like, oh, this could be a good little lore tie-in that we use later, and it was
I
something
did
that
like
was
the
actually
name Cartel's Cartel.
I'll definitely use it later.
Mr. Cartel's cartel. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that
good.
That was pretty funny. That was very funny, actually.
I like the recurring characters, the NPCs too.
I try to. I like recurring characters and stories just because it's like, I know that person.
Yeah, to make it not Game of Thrones. I've never
Yeah.
seen Game of Thrones, but I've just heard that it's like you never know who the main character is because they just die and then it's someone new. It's like,
Yeah,
they're
they'll
dead.
die. Don't worry. I have like
thanks.
a little.
Thanks, Zach.
I'm kidding. I don't have a plot made, but I do have a list. Like these are like just in case you want to keep like information on them. This is the 3 members. The other initiates. Like I have this information. I'm putting it into the staff chat on the Discord.
Okay.
Okay.
I just. I'm sorry, that was really funny. What, you think I have a story made? You think I'm running a campaign here, Kale? No, I'm not. Hey.
We just have this idea that we'll expand on next week.
Yeah,
Pigs
that's
in
literally it.
space.
It's literally just I want. Effectively, I've made this entire campaign because I want to have a villain, and it's not even the same. Like Tomb isn't even the same villain that I wanted to have, but it's just working out that way. So I think it's going pretty all right.
How depressing would it be for you if we just roll perfectly, catch up with Tomb, and just destroy his ship in the next episode? Like literally, just I want an evil character that lasts a while and he just dies next time because we're good.
Well, I mean, in that case, then you'd have to return to the station
Yeah.
and be like, "Yep, well, that entire mission was successful. We don't have any reason to colonize anybody now because we can actually put some time into it." In which case, I would just time skip like 3 months and be like,
Like,
"Time to
"Babies!"
colonize."
Be like Liaison, he's roll a little bit. Have some fun with it if you know what I mean.
A lot more of that was completely.
He's just a man of duty.
Roll 2d6 for how many kids you have in like that three-year period or something.
A lot more of that was completely improv, which is technically intentional because I've been reading a lot on like DM styles, and one of them is to just go, "These are your goals, and this is information that you can kind of throw in whenever you want, but not to like actually make a plot and whatever." So I'm trying to like transition into that
Like a
kind of style.
sandbox. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. So that was really fun to kind of like figure that out because like my session plans I have on my I have a doc for each one, and the ones for the sessions before this are all I have like very intricate information, little like text boxes that I have prepared, all this different very strict stuff. And but this one I have last time on the quote that we used that we didn't actually use, the goal that Tomb has, some information about Tomb, and
It's more of an outline.
Yeah, and just what I want to happen in the session, and that's literally it. So I have like 5 paragraphs as opposed to my normal like 30.
Yeah, I don't do any sentences or paragraphs for my DM prep. I just do connected ideas, like in an outline or like more of like a concept map. That's how I tend to.
I can see that, like a flow chart,
Yep, sort of.
which I know that's what one of my friends do, and I know it's a really good system. I just think a lot better.
It's really
with...
late, so I'm gonna take off. It's 1:00.
Yeah.
So thank you, Zach.
All right.
And Kale.
Thank you.
I'm really loving Liazer and Kinza.
Oh, wow.
I was really kind of like, doormat. It's a fun little dynamic. Like, I was kind
he got promoted. He got promoted this session.
I did.
So.
Oh yeah, boot scrub.
Boot scrub.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm exhausted after today, so
yeah. Well, congratulations. You did us proud.
yeet.
All right. See you
Have
guys.
a great night.
Have a good
Bye.
night, everyone. Bye, everyone watching. Toodles.